Hello there and welcome to BoBeats, your favorite synth cooking show. To anybody who's new here, that's a joke. My name is Bo, this is BoBeats, and today we're gonna cook up I'm gonna serve you some patches that I made for a new, not yet announced soft synth. I'll be making some patches for it that will be shipping with it at launch, and I thought it'd be cool to show you guys some of the sounds that I've been making, as well as try out the new Native Instruments M32 keyboard. It's the smallest Native Instruments keyboard, and it's sort of reminiscent of something like the Minilab from Arturia. You know, you have 8 knobs over here, the main knob, you have transport control over here. It integrates very well with the NKS software, and it's very portable, powered over USB, no MIDI connections. And we're also going to take a look at the new Native Instruments audio interfaces a little bit later in the episode. But first, let me demo some of the sounds from this yet to be announced soft synth. That sound was called Village. Now let's check out a little sequence here. This one is called the Singing Tree. Here's another one called Split. The next one is called Spirits. And here's a saw-based pad. This one is called Pray Before Rain. It's more of a moving texture called Pearls. Another big movement, texture-based kind of pad sound. Here's a sound called City Hub that I really think could go with some kind of house, like chill out house. And as you see, you don't get instant keyboard skills because you buy this Native Instruments keyboard. Yeah, just to say a few words about it, I think it's like a pretty cool, small form factor keyboard. I'll definitely be using mine a lot because it's perfectly sized for this area here, as you can see, with the keyboard, trackpad and mouse. You know, it fits perfectly in here. I do prefer it a lot to their larger A25, because the A25 is like, you have the same amount of, you have the same controls basically, even though you don't have the real pitch wheel and the real mod wheel, but you have touch controllers here instead. However, I do like this form factor a lot more, simply because it takes up a lot less space. Then of course you are trading the full-sized keys for these kind of smaller keys, mini keys, which feel, you know, okay. It feels just like you'd expect from a small keyboard. Yeah, they get the job done, and especially if you're looking for something cheap, you can pick up the M32. It is definitely interesting. I think the software bundle that it comes with is what makes it even more appealing, and the NKS standard, I've talked about this before. NKS standard is really nice, and I think they got something good going here. And I've seen other people compare it to the Minilab Mark II, because the Minilab Mark II comes with bundled Arturia software and has integration with the Arturia software. So that's something to compare it with. So that's my thoughts on the M32. I've used it for a while, I quite like it. And yeah, these were some sounds from a yet to be released soft synth that I think some of you might be interested in, and I'll do a kind of a launch day video on it later on as well. Next up, let's have a look at Native Instruments' 2 new audio interfaces. One of them is quite weird to me, and one of them is quite good. So yeah, let's check it out. First, let's take a look at Complete Audio 1. This is a 2-channel audio interface, and as you can see, it has 48 volts of phantom power. And if we take a look at the connectors, you have a mic input as well as an instrument or line input, but it's just 2 mono channels and there's no expandability. On the front of the unit, we also have gain knobs to increase the volume of the inputs, as well as a switch that switches between line and instrument level, 48 volts of phantom power, and we also have a headphones volume output and a monitor mix, so you can either listen to the input or the computer or a mix between. And on the back we have USB as well as the 2 main outputs. There's nothing funny or strange going on here. 2 RCA outputs, which I find a little bit odd. Maybe it's a price thing, whereas the RCAs are a little less expensive. I'm not too sure. The second audio interface we're taking a look at is called Complete Audio 2. Not clear on why, because both are 2-channel audio interfaces. And if we take a look at them, they are both very similar. The first difference is that you have normal outputs on the back. This is of course much more practical than having RCAs. RCAs will mean that you'll probably need to get some new cables or some kind of adapters. And on the front you have combo jacks, 2 combo jacks, so 2 mono channels, and you can switch between line and instrument inputs, but you could also use them for microphones and phantom power them. So this makes the Audio 2 a lot more versatile than the Audio 1, and considering the small price difference, I would not recommend the Audio 1, but the Audio 2 seems pretty good. So I think it could be a decent choice. One thing to remember though is that it seems like you cannot use these audio interfaces with, say, a smartphone or tablet. At least I haven't been able to. My devices just say that these draw too much power. And as you know from previous videos on my channel, in the audio interface category, there's just so much to choose from. So why should you pick up a Native Instruments audio interface? Well, I would say it's pretty inexpensive, but not just for the audio interface, but if we take a look here, what do you get with it? Well, you get Monarch, you get a replica, you get faces, you get a solid bus compressor. I'm using all of these plugins and they're really good. You get Machine Essentials, you get Ableton Live 10 Lite, Complete Start, and here says 2 months free access to millions of, I don't know about that one, but the Complete Start, Ableton 10, the Lite version, Monarch, the effects and the Machine Essentials. I think this is a really powerful entry-level software package to come with an audio interface, and I don't really see that many other options in this price bracket that brings so much software with this kind of package. So that would be like the strongest argument, I'd say, for why you should pick up a Native Instruments audio interface. But if you don't need the software, there's plenty of other options to choose from. For example, from Focusrite, or say even an audio fuse from Arturia is pretty inexpensive for what you're getting. And I do think that a major benefit to picking up something like an audio fuse or a larger Focusrite interface is the expandability. I've said it before, having ADAT that on your audio interface is really nice if you have a large hardware setup, because then you can do ADAT expansions and expand with more inputs and outputs. So that's something I want you to consider before you go and buy anything. But if you do want to buy something, you can use my affiliate links in the description of this video. It gives me a bit of a kickback and it helps the channel out a lot. So thanks for considering doing that. Thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, if you want to support what I'm doing, check the description. Got some links there to Patreon, to my patch store, and I'll be posting about some BoBeats merch, BoBeats merch later. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you later.